Hello everyone, I am back with some more Stormblood MSQ, the final major patch, patch 4.5. I'd like to start today by going over the patch notes. I think that's something that will be fun to do as I go through each patch, kind of as it was released. The new main scenario quests. Okay, so there's 5, starting with soul searching. Oh yeah, the name of this patch is A Requiem for Heroes. Today is the day. Hello, pawn shop. It's MSQ day. And we've got Chronicles of a New Era. The Four Lords. Looks like there's 2 quests there. Return to Ivalice. 5 quests. Wow, that's a lot. New side story quests. And custom deliveries. New quests added for Blue Mage. Ooh. I'll have to do a Blue Mage stream. So this is when Blue Mage was added, which I have not tried out yet. Let's see. Rest of this is a bunch of miscellaneous updates. Allfell and Rogadin mannequins have been added. You can now use return and teleport from inside an in-room. I guess you couldn't do that before. Or at least not before this patch. Original FF Tactics is available on Steam right now, so I might pick that up. That's the first Final Fantasy game to take place in Ivalice. Nice. Yeah, I heard about that coming out. Oh, this was the patch that Mayong was added. It's kind of interesting to see when some of these things were added. And Air Force One, that minigame was added this patch. New emotes, new hairstyles. Blue Mage stuff. I see, this is all explaining Blue Mage. New dungeon, the Gimlet Dark, has been added. And a new trial, the Wreath of Snakes. And Alliance Raid Dungeon. Cool. This is all PvP stuff. I haven't done any PvP yet. So that all will not be anything I'm interested in. New items. World visit system. Ah, so that's when that was added. I'm at work right now, so I'll be in and out of chat, but I'll keep the stream running while I work. Gotcha. Alright, I think that's about it. Okay, let's get this started. Soul searching. LSA is at her wit's end.
I'm glad you've come, though I'm afraid there's little in the way of good news. After you left, we reached out to both the Alchemists Guild and Stillglade Fane and attempted all manner of treatments. But the results were always the same. Whatever the answer is, it's not alchemy or conjuring.
Yeah, that's right. Last we left off, all the scions were falling over.
Out of all of us, they are the ones who could feasibly have solved this puzzle.
It's just me and LSA now.
And Elfino's still missing. God, it's all going wrong. Where do we even start?
A grave situation indeed. Might I be of some assistance?
Oh, Cryle's still here. Yep.
Cryle, I thought you were busy delving into the mysteries of Eureka.
When word reached me of the plight of our friends, I could not well stay away. As a fellow scion, not to mention your erstwhile mentor, this is one of those times you should feel free to call on me, regardless of my personal circumstances.
Epic.
Yes, I should have thought of that. Thank you for coming, Cryle. We would welcome your insight.
And I should be happy to provide it. Now, what's this I hear about Alphino heading into Imperial territory? That boy always did have some funny ideas. Do you remember the speech he gave when he was accepted to the studium?
Speech.
My life's goal is naught less than the salvation of this star.
The Alphino voice impression.
That particular grand pronouncement has been a source of great embarrassment to him, as you know. But the fact of the matter is, he meant every word and has lived his life accordingly.
Could see Alizé laughing. Last time we saw her, she wasn't doing too well mentally.
Yes, he remains altruistic to a fault. But I'm worried he was too fixated on his goals to see the dangers, as has happened before.
You needn't be so concerned. Though his values remain the same, Alphino is not the blinkered boy he once was. Slowly but surely his eyes have been opened, thanks to a certain someone.
Yeah, he has grown a lot.
A certain someone whom he'd be mortified to learn had heard about his little speech. Mum's the word, eh? Right, I'd better have a look at our patients. They're in the infirmary, I assume. I'll need absolute quiet, so it would be best if I did this alone. If you'll excuse me.
Wait, so we have our own private infirmary here at the Rising Stones. That's great.
three are in fine physical health. At a glance, I would say they were merely sound asleep. Except for the fact that I couldn't sense the slightest trace of them in their bodies. It's as if their souls have taken leave of their physical forms.
Right. It's like we're being dragged out of our bodies.
Ah, yes. The Elder Seedseer made a similar observation.
I've read the report. When you heard this mysterious voice, you described feeling as if you were somewhere else, yes?
Yep.
If we assume the ether which comprises your essence is being drawn to some other place,
Except the place that I was in was like nothing but darkness.
then it may be possible to follow the trail it leaves behind, just as we did in our search for Thancred.
Oh yeah. That's a good
I
idea.
wasn't around for that, but I can't imagine it was easy.
Oh, it wasn't. But that's no reason not to try. I will have need of Master Matoya's crystal eye if I'm even to make the attempt. So I suggest we pay her a visit.
Ooh, we get to go see Matoya again. Nice, nice. Back to Heavensward areas. Hello, Ren. Good to see you here. This is still one of my favorite zones right here. Got an abandoned city. We got Alexander towering over everything. And we got Matoya's cave. What's not to love about this zone? Please do keep Alphino's little speech to yourself. You can be awfully sensitive at times. No promises. I'd heard Master Matoya was something of a recluse, but this seems extreme. Still, I'll happily overlook her eccentricities if she agrees to help us. Oh yeah, that's right. Alisaie's never been here, has she? Off to see Grandma again.
Come to disturb my peace again, have you? I hide myself away in a cave, and still you people insist on pestering me with your problems. mistook you for young what's-his-name, but I see now you're the sister. Weren't you supposed to be the lively one? I've seen happier faces at a rain-sodden burial.
Well, I'm sorry to dash your expectations, but the situation isn't exactly conducive to gaiety.
Oh, dang.
Ha! That's more like it. Stoller used to spit and hiss like a wildcat too. Better for a young thing like you to be filled with fire and leave the doom and gloom to your elders. Now, what exactly does this tragic situation of yours have to do with me?
If I may, Master Matoya, we have need of your crystal eye once more.
And Stoller is one of the afflicted, is she? Very well. She may be an ungrateful stray, but she's my ungrateful stray, and I'll not see her buried before I am.
Yeah. Game volume's a little soft. I'll turn it up a bit. Let me know how that is.
Right, let us see what we can see. I'll begin from where our friends first fell, and cast my senses out from there.
What is it? Did you find them?
This doesn't make sense. How is it even possible?
How is what possible? Kryl, what did you see?
The threads, they just ended. And no, I didn't lose track of them. I followed them as far as they went. It's as if they were cut off.
Could their ether have dissipated if it had? Oh gods! Their bodies are just husks. It's like the Broodmother's daughter all over again.
Broodmother's daughter?
No, this is different. The Kalyana girl was already dead, body and soul, when Lakshmi affected her resurrection.
The Ananta.
Aye, let's not jump to conclusions. If their physical forms yet breathe and show no signs of wasting, then it follows that their souls must still be intact somewhere.
But
Yeah.
where?
That's the question, isn't it, girl? Death has not taken them to the ethereal sea, yet there are no tracks left for us to follow.
Could it be like another dimension? It's like the Warriors of Darkness came
We're
from
no
a
closer
different
to an answer
dimension.
than when we started. But knowing their souls are still out there is progress of a sort. We just have to keep looking. Pray, excuse me a moment. Yes? I remember, but... What, to Alamigo? We're on our way. That was Lee's. Apparently, a group of Populares have defected to Alamigo, and Maxima, the envoy Alphino left with, is one of them.
Ooh, Alphino? He's in Alamigo?
I'm sorry. I realize we've barely begun here, but...
Go, child, go. You've made up your mind, and life's too short for dithering.
Yeah, I don't think Matoya's gonna be complaining about us leaving. All she
I'll do
wants is
some
to be
digging in the
alone in this
meantime and
cave.
see if there isn't some other method we could use to continue the search.
Let's be off then.
Oh, not again. The enchantment barely seems to take these days. I chalk it up to old age, but I rather doubt it's that simple.
Side note, Aether is full, so I can't hop over to assist, but I'm there in spirit. Oh, dang. Yeah, that's the problem with Aether sometimes. Seems to happen a lot. Oh wait, the broom lost its enchantment? Could that be related to... Ishtola said something last time about the Aether dwindling, being low in places for some strange reason.
Before they took ill, Y'shtola and Urianger were sharing notes on a thinning of the ether.
Yeah, thinning of
It
the ether.
seems to be happening all over.
Interesting.
Does it now? And here I was, all set to blame my woes on that creaking mountain of refuse clogging up the Thaliac. I fear something has gone awry. Still, there's naught to be gained from starting at Shadows. You can only do what can be done, and that but one thing at a time.
This is very interesting. It's almost like things that we can't see are affecting us all around us, like in a different dimension. I'm sorry I couldn't do more. I've never seen a soul's threads end so abruptly before. It's okay, Cryo. You're doing your best. So that was the woman who tamed Y'shtola. I had the distinct feeling of being grabbed by the scruff of the neck and having the nonsense shaken out of me. When Alphino's back, I'd like to visit again and ask her what tales she has of grandfather. I like that we're getting to go see Matoya again. That's the thing with Final Fantasy XIV. They don't abandon characters, they keep using them from here on out. It's like even though Matoya was introduced last expansion, it's not like she was just left back in Heavensward. We are still going to talk to her here in Stormblood. That's pretty cool. The Defector's tidings. The news from Alamigo has left Alice in a state of nervous excitement. I almost can't bear to hear what Maxima has to tell us. But it can't be bad news, can it? Lise would have said, unless... there's no point in speculating. Lise said she'd notified the guards of our coming, so we should head straight to the palace gate in the Alamigan quarter. I'll be praying for good news. Learn what you can about Alphino's plight, and leave the search for our friends' lost souls to me. back in Alamigo again. That reminds me, we haven't seen much of Ferdola since the first batch. Wonder if something's gonna involve her again. Alphino will be alright. He has to be. Greetings, Scions. The commander told me to expect you. Shall I show you in? See the guy Alphino was with. That's right, Alphino left the squadron with the Shadow Hunter. So he's not here. Oh no, Alizé is gonna get really worried.
I'm sorry to drag you halfway across the realm, but when Maxima mentioned Alphino, I thought you'd want to hear the news in person.
Ah, we meet again. Though I was hoping our reunion would be under more auspicious circumstances.
What happened to my brother? Where is Alphino?
Never fear, my lady. Your brother was in fine health when I took my leave of him, and I have no reason to assume that has changed.
You assume?
If you will allow me, I shall endeavor to explain events. Our troubles began not long after we departed Doma. While crossing the burn, we were fired upon by the Emperor's personal guard and forced to make an emergency landing. As we stumbled from the wreckage, our attackers fell upon us again, and we would have perished there and then were it not for the intercession of a third party, a band of mercenaries whose leader claimed to pursue a vendetta against the Ascians. This Shadow Hunter, as he styled himself, then escorted us out of the wastes to relative safety. Upon arriving back in civilization, I gathered my Populares colleagues and prepared to flee the Empire. Master Alphino, however, declined the invitation to join us, preferring to continue his investigation into the Ascian threat.
Well, at least he's not lying in a heap in the burn.
Yeah. He's gonna be okay.
Tell us more about these Ascian hunters. Who are they? And is Alphino still with them?
He is. As to who they are, I'm afraid I have nothing to tell you. Beyond the fact that they root out and destroy Ascians, they were unwilling to divulge anything which might serve to identify them. They would not even reveal their next destination. But Master Alphino asked to accompany them all the same. Since parting company with your brother, we've been engaged in a game of cat and mouse with the Emperor's guard. We made our way through province after province, finding the army busy restoring order wherever we went, until we finally arrived here in Alamigo. I cannot thank Commander Aldin enough for giving us such an unexpectedly warm welcome.
I'm not inclined to turn away refugees, no matter which land they call home. And if they can tell me how things lie in Garlemald, all the better.
On that subject, there is much I would tell you. During the course of our journey, we heard tales that an entire rebel army had been slaughtered in the space of a single night. It would seem my former comrades grew tired of putting down uprisings in the conventional manner, and chose instead to bring a formidable new weapon to bear. Details were sparse, but the rumor alone was enough to dampen the flames of rebellion.
Oh dang.
I have also heard reports that several companies have withdrawn from their designated provinces and begun marching westward. It is my assessment that the Empire's forces are mobilizing for a large-scale military engagement.
That's not good.
Westward? You mean they're getting ready to invade Alamigo?
We knew this was coming, but not that it would be so soon.
We've barely even begun to shore up our defenses. They won't stop an invading army.
No, they won't. Dispatch messengers to the Alliance leadership requesting reinforcements, and send word to our officers in the field to hasten completion of those border fortifications. Prepare to meet the Imperials head on! No matter how quickly we act, we still want for time. When the enemy comes into view, our best recourse will be to open negotiations with their commander, and see that the ensuing proceedings take as long as possible.
That's a smart move, Rabon. Stall for time as long as we can while we prepare our armies.
Would you and Alize head to Doma and let Lord Hien know about this? I'm sure he'll want to hear about Alphino too.
Consider it done. We'll send word when...
Oh no, not again.
Untold sorrow must be changed. Ahead looms a calamity. Eon become instant. Throw wide the gates.
Keep saying throw wide the gates. The gates to what?
You heard it too.
The gates to Alamigo? Is it saying we should just surrender to the Empire and that would be the better course of action?
Well,
Interesting.
at least we're both still standing.
Oh, thank the gods. I thought we'd lost you for a moment there. Why does this keep happening?
So whoever it is that keeps communicating with us, it seems that they can see the future. Or they're from the future.
I wish I knew. Nothing we've tried has brought us any closer to an answer. We'll keep working on it. But first, we need to go and see Lord Hien.
So Alphino is safe, for the present at least. Now all we need to worry about is a full-scale Imperial invasion. I'm actually glad Lise tasked us with visiting Lord Hien. Better to be dashing from place to place than sitting around stewing over things we can't change. To the Enclave. Yeah, let's go talk to Hien, the Giga Chad. Hey Parker, good to see you. I see you have tidings for Lord Hien. May I show you inside? Yeah, let's see what Hien has to say about all this. Hey, it's Kojin, Sirena, Tensui. People from Dalmasca and Nagxia. The Imperials have enjoyed the freedom of the Ruby Sea for long enough. It is time they paid their dues. After their humbling at your hands, Magnai and his Oranir have spent every waking moment upon the training fields. Defeat does not sit well with the sun and his children. We of the Blue Kojin will not submit to the Empire's tyranny. If only our red brethren would awaken to their folly. I am come to represent the lands of Nagxia. Long have we struggled in defiance of the Empire, waiting for just such an opportunity as this alliance presents. Interesting. We haven't been to Nagxia yet. fall of Rabanastre was not the end of our nation. We who survived retreated underground, and have been gathering strength to mount a counter-offensive. Dalmasca will rise again. Alone, Doma could accomplish little against the Empire, but in concert with the allies who have gathered here today, we might do much. Jaguar, you have arrived in time to witness the beginnings of our new alliance. Our proposal struck a chord with many of our neighbors, I am pleased to say. Greetings, my friends. I was just discussing future endeavors with the members of our newly formed alliance. The Kojin and the Confederacy you already know, and it was your own strength of arms that won us the cooperation of the steppe tribes. We've also been joined by our neighbors from Nagxia and the indomitable citizens of Dalmasca. Though the scattered nature of the latter's resistance will somewhat delay their official induction. These proud peoples have united under a single purpose, to stand against the tyranny of the Garlean Empire. I'm glad to see your alliance is coming together so swiftly. As things stand, I fear we shall soon have need of your strength. Thank you for bringing me news of Alphino. His fate is never far from my thoughts, and not only because he is our emissary. As for the sudden deployment of Imperial forces, I agree that Alamigo would be wise to shore up its borders with all haste. Every report we receive from our shinobi indicates a massing of troops in the western provinces. It seems all but certain that the Empire is poised to bring its fist down upon Eorzea. And yet I would help deflect that blow. Well, but I cannot risk sending reinforcements just yet. We will remain vulnerable to airborne assault until our wall in the burn is in place. The all-important Allegan energy barrier. The energy barrier, yes. I thought to call it something more auspicious. A name drawn from the four lords of legend, perhaps. Sirius Aegis, or some such. Well, just a thought. The Ironworks engineers report that they have finished calibrating the generators and are ready to proceed to the testing stage. I'm interested in how this is gonna go. But it's gonna look cool. Have you time to attend the first test? You've seen the field which protected Aziz's law firsthand, and I would be interested to hear how you think ours compares. I will come too, if you don't mind. Though I am no Y'shtola, I may be able to offer some insight. Of course. Time being of the essence, it would be best if we made directly for the burn. Yugiri, I leave you and Hakuro to bring the war council to a close. Understood. Your mounts are saddled and ready, my lord. Wear the storms. You obviously have some idea of what to expect, having seen the barrier as is law. But having not had that pleasure myself, I'm exceedingly curious to see a wall capable of keeping out one of those massive Imperial airships. Yeah, that's right. Alcé wasn't there for most of Heavensward. As expected, So I know Shadow failed to answer the call. Not that I blame the Ruby Princess. Enlightened as she is reputed to be, it could be no easy task persuading her people to relinquish their long-held isolation. If we can block the Garleans' airships, the speed with which they deploy their forces will be greatly diminished. The jungles of Nagxia are dense and treacherous. The land itself prevents the Empire from truly conquering our nation. Long have we hidden behind bough and branch, striking where and when we can. When the Empire put down Dalmasca's bid for freedom, our remaining forces were splintered. Bringing scattered pockets of resistance back under a single banner will be our first order of business. I like how we're getting some connection to the side content in the MSQs. He had mentioned the Four Lords earlier. We have a guy from Dalmasca. Out in the open sea, I would happily take on any vessel, but here on dry land is another matter. The Empire's iron monstrosities will ever have the upper hand. One after another, tribes from across the steppe have come forth to pledge their warriors to the Alliance. Many simply crave a chance to seize glory in battle, it is true, but their eagerness is most welcome nonetheless. If only we could persuade our kin of the error of their ways. With the red at our side, we would make a truly formidable force. Yeah. Seryu's wall. Hien is eager to see the energy barrier in action. We will cross the burn by Yul and Falcon, as before. Join me at the overlook near the House of the Fierce. We're meeting up where we first flew to the burn. Let us pray there are no sandstorms brewing out there. Yeah, that would be bad timing. Give the word when you are ready to take wing. Here's the barrier. Definitely looks like something out of Az's Law.
It seems the engineers have matters well in hand. Should the barrier work as we intend, Doma will be free to reinforce her allies in Alamigo without fear of weakening her own borders. Honored friends, the time has come to put your hard work to the test. Start the generator.
Node 1 is
Nice.
operational. Nodes 2 to 8 are reporting similar energy levels. The barrier is forming.
Whoa, that's cool.
1,000 yards. 2,000. 3,000. Expansion remains smooth. No fluctuations detected. 4,000. 5,000. Target altitude reached. The barrier is holding steady at 5,000 yards. We've done it.
Epic. Oh, here comes an Imperial.
Is that an Imperial airship? Of all the rotten timing.
But this is a gift, Mistress Alize. They can test our new wool for us.
Yeah. It's invisible, just like the one in Alice Law. They're gonna have no idea what hit them.
Seems solid enough, though I was hoping for a fireball.
Yeah. Would've been funny to see it just explode. Oh wait, what if that's Alphino? And he's trapped outside the wall now. I called it! Oh no!
By the gods. It's Alphino. What are you? Let me go! He has my brother!
Lower the barrier!
Okay, good, we can disable it. I thought he was gonna be trapped out there, and then the Garlean force was gonna come behind.
Be at ease, girl.
And he was gonna be stuck
the
out
lad
there.
is not dead, merely locked in slumber.
No, not him too.
Oh, it's happening to him too.
We could identify no cause and found no remedy. Thus I sought to return him to Doma, and into the arms of Lord Hien himself, it would seem. It is a day for fated reunions. Would you not agree, adventurer? Or should I address you as the Warrior of Light?
Oh, Gaius. So that's what Gaius sounds like now. He's alive. Guess we never did see him die.
Gaius van Baelsar, the Black Wolf. That was the title I was given. One I have long since relinquished. Stand down. The legatus of the 14th Imperial Legion died in Castrum Meridianum. I am no more than Gaius Baelsar, a man without rank or allegiance.
His voice sounds different.
Impossible. There's no way you could have survived.
Do you remember how it unfolded? How I was deceived by
backstory
Lehabrea?
time.
How I was convinced that reviving the Ultima weapon would allow me to bring peace to Eorzea? The Ascian used me, as he used so many others, all to further the restoration of his wretched god. Yet even with the might of Alec at my command, you bested me. And as the Praetorium went up in flames, I was content to burn along with it. For a moment at least.
This is so cool. We're catching up with Gaius.
A moment of folly. To surrender my life thus would have been to betray all who died for my cause. It was for them that I dragged myself free of the rubble, and swore vengeance on the Ascians. Black Wolf has shed his pelt, never to return to Garlemald or her legions. I live now only to exact revenge.
So that's why he's killing all those Ascians, for revenge.
My principal quarry was to be La Hebrea, whom I gather you have since ushered onto oblivion. But so many more remain. Long as their kind lurked in the shadows, laboring to sow chaos throughout our world, I would see each and every one dragged into the light and put to the sword. Are the Scions not of like mind?
In this single respect, perhaps.
Yeah.
Then I shall continue the partnership the boy began, and share what intelligence I have acquired.
Yeah, we're on the same side now, fighting the Ascians.
Among the Ascians, the Black-masked ilk are subordinate to those who wear red. This you already know. Yet among the red there exists a hierarchy. Those set adrift with the shards clearly stand below those still joined to the source.
Wait, is that the black-robed versus white-robed? White-robed are superior, I'm guessing.
Nabriales, who once dared to intrude upon the Rising Stones, belonged to the former group, and while he was indeed a dangerous foe, his powers were inconsequential next to the paragons of the Source. The first was La Hebrea, who plagues us no more. There is also the white-robed Elidibus, and the elusive Emmet Selk, about whom little is known.
We have files on La Hebrea and Elidibus, but I believe this Emmet Selk is new to us? As I assume my brother told you, we have evidence to suggest that an Ascian now walks in the body of the Crown Prince. Have you identified this interloper?
Elidibus seems the most likely culprit. As emissary, it is his role to maintain the equilibrium between darkness and light.
Yeah.
Your many deeds in Hydaelyn's name have upset the balance, and I believe he seeks to restore it by throwing his considerable power behind the Empire. As a leader of the Ascians, he is one of our primary targets.
So we've upset the balance because we're putting too much light into the world.
It was on the trail of this very prey that the boy and I came across the scene of a failed uprising. In the absence of a single Garlean casualty, we inspected the bodies of the rebels, and the lack of any external injury drew my immediate attention. They had been slain by Black Rose, an alchemical invention of the Imperial Army. When I yet served as legatus, I ordered its production halted, and all stockpiles destroyed. Toxic gas is not a tool of conquest, but of extermination.
Toxic gas? This must be the new weapon Maxima warned us about. Something deadly enough to sweep away all resistance in a matter of hours.
Yeah.
Gods.
That's not good.
You don't think they're planning to use this in Alamigo, do you?
Put your fears to rest. We infiltrated the production facility and destroyed all existing stores of the chemical along with the plant itself. Even should they rebuild the operation, they will not soon manufacture another batch.
Nice. Well, that's helpful. Unless they have another
Regardless,
facility
I would
somewhere.
draw your attention to a directive we discovered in the plant's records. The document was marked with a recent date and authorized with the signature of one Zeno Galvas.
A dead man signing the death warrant for thousands. 'Tis bad comedy.
Yeah.
But the tale does not end there. Within that same facility was a chamber filled with devices of elegant design. Cloning technology, we realized.
Oh, cloning technology.
And what should we find in each and every incubator? But a young Emperor Solus.
Oh, so that makes sense now. How there were two bodies that looked exactly the same. And when one died, the Ascian switched to a different clone.
All of which prompts the question, were the Ascians responsible for these abominations, or was it the will of the Emperor? I must know which hand guides the Empire. Though I have given up my rank, I am yet a son of Garlemald, and I will fight for the future of my homeland. It is time I return to the hunting of shadows. We should focus on our common foe. To reopen old quarrels now would serve no purpose.
You saved my brother's life, so I'm willing to let sleeping dogs lie. But in truth, it's not my decision to make.
You're right, there are more important matters at hand.
There was a time when I scorned those who placed their faith in false gods, even as I, in my blinkered conviction, place mine in Ascian promises. Unlike yours, my strength of will and my restraint was found wanting. We shall meet again, warrior of light.
Oh yeah, I'd say there's no conflict between us anymore. 'Cause, I mean, after all, the real enemy was an Ascian when we were fighting Gaius.
So that was the infamous Black Wolf. An unexpected ally, to say the least.
Very interesting turn of events.
Well, I am content to leave the fine-tuning of the barrier to cleverer minds. Let us bid our friends from the Ironworks farewell, and see what can be done for Alphino back in Dorma.
Even should our alliance send a contingent to Eorzea, I'll stay here in Doma with the remainder of our forces. What uncanny timing that Master Alphino should be returned to us just as we were testing the barrier. I only hope a cure can be found for his malady. Yeah, well, it's a good thing that ship didn't explode when it hit the barrier. Otherwise, the War Council has ended in unanimous agreement to forestall the Empire's expansion plans in the region. Our allies are willing to send troops to fight in Eorzea. I was there hoping that that ship was going to explode when, in the meantime, there's actually Alphino aboard it. Alphino is safely ensconced in a private chamber. My finest healer is examining him as we speak. I've spoken with the physician, and there are no outward signs of illness. Alphino is lost in a sleep which cannot be awoken, just like the others. Seems that even in the lands of the Empire we're not far enough away to escape that cursed voice. I share your frustration, Alice, I do, but Alphino has returned to us alive and otherwise unharmed. All that remains is to find the means to wake him. Until then, you can but fulfill your duties as a scion, yours and your brother's both. You're right, of course. There are arrangements to be made, and little time to make them. To business then, my lord. Now that we know Siryu's wall works as intended, can we expect reinforcements for Alamigo? You most certainly can. As promised, we will send troops to bolster our allies in Eorzea without delay. Pray be aware, however, that they will not arrive without delay. Save for some few who boast teleportation magics, the bulk of our force must be transported by sea, a lengthy voyage for which the smaller vessels, favored by the Confederacy, are ill-equipped. Accordingly, I mean to enlist the assistance of the East Aldenard Trading Company in finding suitable ships. As for navigating the distances in question, we are in the happy position of being able to call upon those who plotted the course of my people's exodus to Eorzea. Beyond the procurement of ships, I think it unlikely that our East Aldenard friends will consent to any involvement in military operations, but I am certain they will afford Alphino a berth aboard one of their vessels. I shall have a Kairujan accompany him every ilm of the way to the Rising Stones. You have my thanks, Lord Tien. Yugiri, I will go on ahead with our friends to Alamico. Enlist all those capable of teleportation, and put them at the disposal of the Eorzean Alliance as soon as possible. They will form the vanguard. Yes, my lord. This is exactly what we'd hoped for. Lyse and the Alliance leaders would be glad indeed to welcome the combined strength of the East. Meanwhile, at the Black Rose chemical plant.
Our supplies at Black Rose have been ruined, but the new plant is already under construction. We should have the first batch ready in time for the offensive, Your Radiance.
Oh no, they do have another plant. At least under construction. It's not built yet.
See that you do.
That's still not good.
Ah, yes, the infamous Black Rose. If I recall correctly, Gaius did not much care for the invention. A ruthless and indiscriminate weapon indeed, this airborne poison. It seems you are capable of making decisions worthy of your bloodline.
With no gift for sorcery, we Garleans must look to Magitech to even the odds. If it spares the needless deaths of our soldiers and serves the cause of this empire, there is no method I would not employ.
How very noble of you.
Truly, though, I must commend you for embracing your role as Emperor. You play the part of the determined ruler well. Sometimes even I catch myself believing.
A silent agent of death. Now that I think on it, Black Rose may well possess the perfect aspect.
So this guy is like the real man pulling the strings behind Varys. Varys is just a puppet, basically, being forced to listen to this guy, who we now know is a clone of Solus, one of many clones.
Slowly but surely, the deluge of light has worked upon the ether here in the source, and the gas should be most susceptible to its influence. Well, I shall leave you to your own devices. Go forth and bloody the land with your grand and glorious war.
you do what, precisely?
Yeah, what is he doing? Also, that walk he just did was very goofy.
Need you ask? I will be doing what all Ascians do.
Just strolling off without a care in the world.
I am well aware that your kind exists only to usher in the next calamity. But you seem oblivious to the harm your singular agenda causes to the Empire. You cannot have forgotten the events which followed your mortal demise. Our homeland was plunged into a civil war for your failure to name a successor. The edifice you so carefully constructed was but a hair's breadth from collapse.
Interesting. So it's him that names the successor.
Are you truly so naive? You thought me oblivious to the consequences of a departure so painstakingly timed?
It was by design?
Well, of course it was. Though I will admit the resulting panic exceeded even my wildest expectations. But how can you be surprised? Throwing the world into disarray was the very purpose for which this nation was, as you say, so carefully constructed. Now, if you have no further questions, I must be on my way. Since we may not meet again in this lifetime, it would be remiss of me not to offer a word or two of gratitude.
Wait, what? We may not meet again in this lifetime?
I really must thank you for this surplus of vessels. I can mold any host into my own image, but having bodies tailor-made for me in this fashion is so much less tiresome.
Interesting. So Ascians can mold bodies to look like whatever they want. It takes a lot of effort, so that's why these clones are useful.
You dabbled in elegant cloning techniques, yes? It certainly is a compelling, not to mention entertaining, field of research. And of all the options available, you chose the founding father on whom to experiment. You have a twisted streak to you, Varus, like grandsire, like grandson, hey? If events play out as planned, this will become something of a family enterprise. You will be the capstone of this world, I the anchor and shard, and together we will give the lie to this star's fraudulent existence.
This dude is insane. Xenos was kind of a crazy antagonist. I think this guy is going to be even more of a insane character. As in, like, actual insane. Come, let us return to Lys and share the good news about our Far Eastern reinforcements. Go on ahead, Jaguar. I will join you in Alamigo with our advance party as soon as I can. While you and my Lord Hien are away crossing swords with the Empire in distant Alamigo, I shall be here with the remainder of our forces, watching our borders. Pray send to the Garleans my regards. I will be right back. I am back. Yeah, seems like we're about to have a very maniacal antagonist. Just wants to do nothing but sow chaos. Also, something that I'm not quite sure about. Seems like the Ascians want to cause a calamity, but then there's Elidibus, who wants to balance light and dark, but wouldn't letting light and dark get out of balance cause a calamity. And Elidibus has a white coat, white cloak, while a lot of the other Ascians have black cloaks. So I'm kind of wondering if there might be like two different types of Ascians there. Two different like parties of Ascians that want different things. It's very interesting. Parley on the front lines. Hien stands ready to depart for Alamigo. We must leave now to convene with the Orzia's leaders, and it may be some time before I return to Doma. Akiro, I leave you in command. My lord. I shall assemble an advance party with all haste, and join you in Alamigo forthwith. I've just received word from Lise. The Alliance has established a base camp near Alamigo's northeastern border. Once we arrive in the locks, we are to report to a resistance officer stationed in Porta Praetoria who will point us in the right direction. Let's not keep them waiting. Hello, Denai. Welcome, welcome. Here we are again, ready to fight the same foe. Yet I would not be anywhere else. This conflict concerns us all. Come what may, I cannot allow the Empire to regain its grip on Alamigo. Maybe balance is different in their estimation. Interesting, interesting. Here, I think we found the guide Lise mentioned. Ah, you must be the Scion party I was told to look out for. If you'll follow me, I'll take you directly to Alliance headquarters.
Welcome back, you two. Greetings, Lord Hien. Glad you could join us.
When you heard that at this point, that was your first thought. Interesting. Yeah, I'm liking the lore of the Ascians.
Glad to be here. I would have come sooner, were our own defense is not in question, but I am pleased to report that our soldiers are assembling for deployment to Alamigo as we speak.
We're grateful for your support. Thanks to the efforts of our allies, it won't be long before we've established defensive positions on this front as well.
We have some good news too. Alphino has come back to us. As for the bad news,
Yep, he's back, but he's unconscious.
So, Alphino won't wake up, Gaius van Baelsar is alive and hunting Ascians, and the Empire is planning to poison us all with toxic gas. Does that sound about right?
Yep, that's about
Ordinarily, any one of those things would have left me in shock. But the way things have been lately, it's all starting to seem pretty normal. Getting back to your report, are we sure this Black Rose is the weapon Maxima was talking about?
It fits the description. And it seems we have Alphino to thank for sparing us an early demonstration of its effectiveness. I have a feeling this won't be the last time his bravery in the Empire will serve us here in Eorzea. The threat of an unknown weapon has had us all on edge. But now that we know what we're dealing with, we can take steps to defend against it.
Yeah, good thinking. Need some way to defend from poisonous gas.
As for Gaius, I'm not sure what to think. Am I happy he's alive? Not in the slightest. Am I happy he's hunting Ascians? Aye, I'd have to say I am.
Oh, speaking of Garleans you didn't expect to see, we have a tale of our own, as it happens. When we sent envoys to the Imperial Army to request talks, they returned with the message that Varys Zos Galvus would be attending.
The Emperor himself. Well, Varys did sanction the Popularis peace mission. But knowing that an Ascian walks in his son's skin, I do not see how we can trust him or anyone from that nest of vipers.
Yeah, we can't trust anyone from Garlemald at this point.
The Alliance would proceed with negotiations regardless, if only to give ourselves more time to prepare. We do, however, require your cooperation.
Right. Yes. So, as a condition for the talks to go forward, the Empire has requested that a member of the Scions be present. There'll be a representative from each Alliance nation, of course, but I'm afraid we have to ask that you come along too.
gods, Lise, you know how much I hate politics. But then, what choice do I have? Alphino and the others aren't going to do it. Very well. I shall attend as the Scion's representative.
Oh yeah. Elsie has to act like Alphino.
In case you're wondering why I didn't ask you, the Empire also requested the presence of Eorzea's champion.
Just to fill his role until he gets back. I'll be there.
That's settled then. We don't know what Varys means to bring to the table, or why he wants you there, but having you close at hand will make all the difference.
So they cited the Warrior of Light and, well, the Champion of Eorzea and the leader of the Scions as separate people, so we both have to attend. That makes sense.
The meeting will take place on the border. Anticipating an early assault, we mean to position the bulk of our forces nearby.
The Alliance leaders should already be on their way. Once you're ready, we can head out and join them.
Ooh, look at all the flags. The Alliance just keeps growing. We went from 3 in a Realm Reborn to now 6 in Stormblood. Nice. If Charlian could not negotiate peace with the Empire, I rather doubt war could be avoided here, but every moment we steal for our preparations will count in the final reckoning. Is Emperor Varus in thrall to the Asians? That is the question. Yeah. Should the Empire decide to ignore the rules of parley, we could be fighting far sooner than we'd like. Keep your weapons close. Yeah, something tells me this isn't gonna go very smoothly. Well, I don't suppose it's polite to keep an Emperor waiting too long, shall we? Well, this is ominous. Couldn't have picked a more pretty room for us to meet in. It's just all dull and gray.
Esteemed representatives of the Eorzean Alliance, on behalf of the Gallian Empire, I thank you for inviting me here today. As this parley was convened at your request, I invite you to speak first.
Very well, Your Radiance. I, Nanimo Ulnamo, 17th in the line of Ul, should be pleased to oblige you. As recent events in Alamigo and Doma have made plain, the subjugation and exploitation of neighboring nations is not a sustainable policy. Should this day end in war, you may very well defeat us, but you will never extinguish the people's desire for freedom. Though it may not be in our lifetime, there will be another revolution, another war, and the cycle will continue.
Dang.
Doma has entered into a concord with the nations of Eorzea, a partnership wherein we recognize one another as equals.
Nanimo coming in with the facts.
Garlemald could be afforded similar treatment. You need only set aside your ambitions and join us in paving a path towards peace.
You will not win me over with sophistry, Your Grace. As you know only too well, this alliance lacks the strength to keep the peace within its own borders. Even now, your struggles with the Beastmen continue unabated. Divided, you sow this fertile soil with the seeds of your differences and reap naught but discord and chaos for your trouble. Eorzea must be united under one leader, one purpose. I would offer you both and bring an end to your strife.
With all due respect, Your Radiance, the only thing that you offered the people of Alamigo was fear and hopelessness.
Yeah.
The citizens of Doma can also attest to the meager arms of Imperial rule. There is no purpose to be found in a life of oppression, each day more uncertain than the last.
Our people are willing to die for their freedom. A great many already have, and countless more will, if we don't put an end to this madness here and now.
We brought order and stability to your lives. This madness and bloodshed is of your own making. You broke the peace, not Garlemald.
Peace. Order. You kill our peoples, despoil our lands, take everything that is ours. And what? You expect us to lick the boot that grinds our faces into the dirt?
I expect you to weigh the costs. to recognize that countless lives have been lost on both sides in pursuit of a greater good, and to not squander all we have achieved in a fit of petulance.
Your Radiance. I fear I can personally attest to the dangers of pursuing one's vision with such righteous fervor. For 1,000 years, the Holy See of Ishgard waged war with dragons. 1,000 years of sacrifice, of sorrow and hate, in which we bathed in the blood of friend and foe alike. Had it gone on any longer, we may well have drowned. Yet we have chosen to raise ourselves out of this bloody spiral, and have since made peace with our former enemy.
Nice, Emmerich. Bringing up the Dragon Song War.
So I understand. No doubt the dragons were more receptive to your overtures in the wake of their leader's demise. You speak of peace, yet use war to achieve it. Your father would not have bothered to obscure his intent with honeyed words. He understood that strength is all that matters in the end.
Well, yeah, if you're being attacked, you kind of have to use war to achieve peace.
Without his clarity of vision, I can but wonder what will become of Ishgard and her people. There was a time when Garlemald too lacked a leader of conviction. Weak and unable to wield magic, we were at the mercy of the strong, from whom we sought refuge in the bitter cold of the north. Were it not for the discovery of ceruleum and the subsequent development of Magitech, we might never have gained the power to take back that which was rightfully ours.
You speak as if your people were the first to have been driven from their homes. Limsa Lominsa was built by wayward souls in search of a place to call their own. On the shores of Vilbrand we found it. And from those humble beginnings did we grow and flourish. And all without robbing our neighbors of their liberty.
So saith the pirate. Am I to believe that you simply asked the kobolds to yield up their lands and that they were happy to oblige you? That you did not drive them out like rats in the hold of one of the many ships seized by your privateers?
Keep spinning things in a way that makes him make sense.
I will concede that after centuries of exile, reclamation may be mistaken for invasion. Nevertheless, it is not. And those who till stolen soil have no right to object when cast out in turn.
Your uncompromising nature rivals that of the Ixal. They too lament circumstances which they themselves perpetuate. Were they but to embrace peace, we would welcome them with open arms. Indeed, some few have done just that, and now receive of the 12's Wood's bounty. Would that your people might learn from their example.
You dare compare us to the Birdmen? You who thought to invoke the 12 and threaten all of creation.
Like how we're bringing in all the leaders of the Alliance's thoughts one by one.
I came here in the hope of finding some speck of common ground, but I see now these discussions will accomplish nothing.
Despite what you people may believe, I am not wont to choose the sword over the olive branch. 'Tis but a pity men are loath to accept one without first being shown the other.
Wait! I beg you. This meeting was supposed to be a chance to find a way forward together, not to bemoan the missteps which brought us here. Please. If you truly consider violence a last resort, there must be a way we can come to an agreement.
As Mistress Alisaie says, we did not come here to bicker over the past, but to discuss how we might strive towards a brighter future. Emperor Varys, may I suggest a short recess, that all present might compose themselves prior to beginning anew?
Very well. I pray this intermission will suffice to move these talks in a more constructive direction.
I don't think he's gonna be swayed no matter what we say. Oh, we get to walk around here. It is true that Limsa beginnings were not wholly honorable, but our old wrongs do not make the Empire's deeds right. I do much wonder at Emperor Varys' decision to attend these negotiations. It is plain he has no intention of hearkening to our entreaties. But what then is his goal? It's a good question. For a moment, I feared our talks would descend into violence there and then. Alisaie speaks of her dislike for politics, but her honest plea may very well have prevented an early battle. Yeah, I think Alisaie made a good call there. Whatever rebuttal I had in mind was lost when Varys mentioned my father. The man is certainly skilled at keeping his opponents off balance. Yeah, he's good at having a response to everything that makes him sound reasonable. Varys holds fast to his ideals, just as I knew he would. He will not be swayed from his path. Why do I get the feeling the Emperor is hiding something? For years we have warred with the Empire, with no end in sight. Parley such as this represents a unique opportunity. I would not squander it with bitter words. Whew. This really is not my forte. After his Radiance's little performance, it was all I could do not to swear at him. I honestly don't know how I ended up playing the mediator. I just asked myself what Alphino would have done. Tried my best to do the same, and by some miracle, it worked. Yeah, you did great there, Alisaie. But there really is no common ground to be found with that man, nor do I think he looked for any. So the question becomes, what did he come here to do? Because you may be certain it wasn't to make peace. Whatever it is, I can't make it out. At least, not yet, at least. We do have a little time before the parley is due to reconvene, though. So why not try consulting our illustrious leaders? Perhaps they have some insight to share. I will say one thing in Varys. He is well versed in Eorzean history. His interest in our affairs is that of a beast in its prey. The conqueror would know his enemies. All should know their enemies, yet there's much and more we do not know of the Empire. It's up to us to change that, here and now. Huh. You would have me ask the Emperor himself? Well, mayhap there's some wisdom in that. If we can skirt the storm of his displeasure, we may yet come to our answers. if it does mean sailing close to the wind. Yeah, we haven't pushed him yet to try and get some information out of him. This parley was never like to bring peace, but I had hoped to learn something of Emperor Varys' relationship with the Ascians. As had we all. Yet if he is in league with them, he is not like to volunteer the fact. And if he is not, how much weaker would his position seem for their presence? If we are to broach that particular subject, we'll need to be subtle. I wish that I knew more of the man. If you would indulge me. Lord Tien, you received an imperial education, did you not? Is it true that the Emperor's will is considered absolute? There is no higher authority in all Garlemald, nor else in the heavens, come to that. Veneration of the gods is forbidden, the only worship permitted being that of His Radiance's own person. That sounds suspiciously like a religion in itself. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Sounds like they're treating him like a god. I share your disdain for the hypocrisy. Even as they denigrate this idea of faith, they revere their leader with a fervor others reserve for the divine. 'Tis a flaw common to much of the doctrine they feed us, logical on the surface, perhaps, contradictory upon closer examination. I wonder if a discussion of the various discrepancies might prompt Varys to reveal something. "12 have mercy, but for Lady Elisay's timely introduction, we might well have come to blows at the negotiating table. Not that Emperor Varys left us a great many opportunities. Is unconditional surrender all he will accept, do you think? Ere he arrived, I'd have said yes, but having heard him speak, I cannot help but think he came with some other end in mind." "Exactly. He's building up to something, I know it." How then should we approach the rest of the parley? Have you anything to say, Warrior of Light? Yeah, invite Varys to explain himself. You believe it is more apt to reveal the truth if we put him at ease. Mayhap you are right. Thank you, Jaguar. Need to get some information out of him. You've spoken with everyone, then? Good. Now, all that remains is to await the pleasure of the Emperor, and hope we fare better at the second attempt.
Now then, who would have the floor?
This is all very interesting. I like how they're doing this discussion in a way that kind of feels realistic.
Before we resume, I wish to offer you an apology. After you graciously accepted our invitation to discuss an armistice, we have done naught but rebuke you at every opportunity. I believe I speak for all of us when I say we are deeply sorry for our discourtesy.
Like this kind of comes across how a real political discussion might come across.
I'll admit your familiarity with our affair surprised me, and served to remind me how little I know of yours.
I think all here can understand the desire to reclaim one's homeland. But why expand further? That is my question.
If I may, the answer can be found in the Imperial doctrine they took great pains to impart to my people. Recognizing the threat icons pose to the world, Solus Zos Galvus decreed that they were to be eradicated. To this end, he began a campaign to unite all lands under the Garlean banner. Or so we were taught. Yet the Emperor only reached the burn, the Barrens said to have been laid waste by icons, after conquering all the lands that lay between. What is more, I am quite certain the practice of summoning was not nearly so widespread in the days before the Empire's founding.
When you put it like that, it all starts to sound like an excuse, doesn't it? But to distract from what? Why are you really waging this war?
Yeah. Seems like the Empire's presence has only made more and more primals show up. That was a really good observation from Hien. So the true reason for fighting this war is not to kill all the primals, but then what is it for?
Finally, you ask the right question. I can but hope you heed mine answer and at last accept the righteousness of our cause. My goal is this: to return the world to the way it once was, the way it was always meant to be. In doing so, mankind will be made whole once more. No longer will we suffer from the dissension born of our differences. There will be but one race, a perfect race, as we were when time began.
I don't like the sound of that.
What in Rulga's name are you talking about?
Seems like too much power for one person to have.
I am talking about the origins of this star, of the source and its 13 reflections.
Ooh, here we go. More lore about the source and the reflections. The other dimensions or worlds.
At the instant of the Great Sundering, 'twas not only the world that was shattered, but mankind itself. Thus were we divided into myriad races, each with its own unique imperfections.
Interesting.
That is why man looks upon his neighbor and feels fear and hatred, why he wages war, why he kills his brother. You all in your own way have proven as much today. The peace you seek is but a fleeting solution to a fundamental problem. One which calls for more drastic measures. To bring about everlasting peace, our worlds must be rejoined. That is the goal the Empire would see realized. The glorious future unto which we shall one day shepherd mankind.
A rejoining of worlds.
I have heard this tale of the source and its reflections before.
How do you rejoin worlds, is my question.
Are these not the self-same desires as the Ascians?
Emperor Varys, do not trust in their words. They will lead you to your doom.
Well, so the Ascians are trying to rejoin the worlds?
My father thought to use them, but in the end he succumbed to their temptations. He embraced summoning like so many other pawns before him. Do not tell us you mean to do the same.
To be a pawn, free from the burden of choice, would be a blessing.
Well, that's concerning.
But I forswore that privilege the day I learned that the Garlean Empire was built by the hand of an Ascian.
What?
Yep, so now everyone here is learning that.
My grandsire, the former emperor, is of their number. And who better to build an empire capable of bringing about the calamitous change we desire?
Would you condemn me for this alliance? For bowing to the will of these shadowy masters when the prize is true and lasting peace?
Prize is a lie. Your master's demons. That's a lie.
I come not to conquer, but to liberate. To free man from the prison of divergence.
Imagine a world united. One perfect race beneath a single standard. An army before whose might these servants of darkness and light would fly as leaves in a storm, never again to meddle in man's affairs. We would be the masters of our own fate. I bid you join me, not as subjects of Garlemald, but of a new nation. And together we shall win freedom for ourselves and generations yet unborn.
Seems like he's lost it.
You want to trigger another half-dozen calamities? You can't be serious!
Yeah. First of all, wouldn't uniting ourselves back into one singular race, wouldn't that kind of destroy everything that makes us different, unique from each other? Second of all, I don't think that would stop the violence. People would still find ways to make themselves different from one another, have differences with each other. Like in a bad way, people would still find ways to argue with each other about things. And third of all, causing so many more calamities, is it really worth it? Even if it is as perfect as he's describing, which it's not, I don't think it is. That would not be worth it for so many people's lives to be cut down in the process.
Have you forgotten how many died? There will be no one left.
Yeah. Yep, the calamities themselves would kill untold people besides. Yeah, exactly.
Do you truly imagine we would aid you in your bloodletting?
It is unthinkable, unconscionable.
And what is the alternative? To be as cattle waiting for slaughter? I would have us work together that we might take fate into our own hands.
Into your hands, perhaps. But what of the other worlds, your radiance? With every calamity, you obliterate a star and every soul that dwells on it.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Every time a calamity happens here in our world, which is the source, I think another world is destroyed entirely. It's not only is a bunch of people in our world suffering and dying, a bunch of people in a different world are also just getting completely destroyed. Death equals peace to this guy at this rate. Yeah, it's not making any sense at all.
To the Ascians, we are all but tiny, momentary specks within an indifferent universe. We cannot hope to oppose them until we have been made whole once more.
So he wants to destroy the Ascians, but he's also doing exactly what they want. That doesn't make sense.
Are these truly the words of Garlemald's ruler? The flaws and foibles which you so abhor are what make us who we are. Every nation, even yours, Emperor Varys, is made whole through the combination of these imperfections, the strengths of one compensating for the weaknesses of another.
Varys is not a thinker, yeah. Although Nanamo just said something interesting. She asked, is this really the leader of Garlemald? This could be an Ascian pretending to be Varys, for all we know.
While it is true that man succumbs all too often to anger and avarice, he may yet overcome his baser instincts through the forming of bonds with others, fostering community and cooperation.
Not a bit of sense, he's delusional. Yeah.
That the protector of an empire should not only reject these fundamental truths, but seek to change them at so dear a cost to life is indefensible. Such a man is not fit to govern.
Ooh. You tell him, Nanamo.
And you, warrior of light, would you refuse me as well?
Cannot condone such a loss of life. Do you really think the warrior of light was going to agree with you? The person who's been saving people's lives this whole time is going to say, let's just start a bunch of calamities and kill a bunch of people.
It would seem the Alliance is of one mind on this matter.
You Eorzeans never cease to disappoint me. Though I suppose I have only myself to blame for expecting more from savages. This discussion is at an end. I bid you make ready for our next meeting. It will not be at the negotiating table.
Well, looks like we're about to have to fight a war. Wow, look at everyone here. Where are we? Eorzean Alliance headquarters? I'm glad we arrived in time to aid in the battle. Though our vanguard may be small, these few are our chosen elite, the finest warriors of the Far East. We suspected Ascians meddled in the shadows of the Empire, but the truth is far beyond my wildest imagining. At least now we know the face of our enemy, and we need not hesitate to strike at its heart. His grand plan is to bring about more calamities. This is insanity. This madman must be stopped at all cost. It struck me that this is the first time he let his own thoughts loose concerning the Ascians. He'd been holding his tongue since the scenes with Emmett Selk. Yeah, you're right. All the times we've seen him in the past, he's been completely silent. So now we see he wants to defeat the Ascians, but he's gone completely mad, delusional. Thinks that what he's doing is going to defeat them, but not really. The Empire exists to wage war, and war it shall have. but its vast armies pour in like tides themselves. This could very well be the greatest military threat Eorzea has ever faced. I was born in the Empire, but I will never serve the Emperor. Only the Seedseer commands my loyalty. I refuse the Emperor's words with all of my being. What justice is there in an ideal that demands the sacrifice of so many? Now that we have learned the Emperor's true purpose, war has become an inevitability. It's times like these I curse my own uselessness in battle. My first engagement as Flame General, and it is full-scale war with the Empire. I feel some measure with nervousness, of course, but I fear I will make Father proud in the battles to come. Yeah, poor Pippin becomes general and immediately has to fight a big war. The Ascians are terrible beings indeed, that they would found an entire nation to further their dark designs. It would seem that the Empire's history is as sinister as Ishgard's own. Temple Knights have deployed in full strength. Eorzea's future is in Ishgard's future, and our fates ride upon the outcome of this conflict. It makes a twisted kind of sense that the Empire was built by the Chaosbringers themselves. The revelation yet rattles me, but now that we know our enemies are one and the same, we have a target upon which to unleash the full force of the Alliance. Yeah, that's true. Now we know the Empire and the Ascians aren't really separate entities. Send me to the front lines, if you please. We'll give the Imperials a taste of the Maelstrom's cannons, not to mention my axe. Oh yeah, this guy that came up with the plan of defeating Leviathan. Alright, I think that's everyone. Why do they block this specific place? Oh, it's because there's an opening right there that they don't want you to go through. I came back to find Domad's advance party ready and waiting for battle. So, as worrying as our little chat was with the Emperor was, it did buy enough time for at least some of our allies to arrive. Quest are we at? One, 2, 3, 4. So this is the last one for part 1 of patch 4.5. The Face of War. So I think there's 5 in the patch notes. Having listened to Emperor Varys' maniacal plans, Lisa's ready to go to war. Yeah, let's do it. Can't let him get what he wants.
I'm not sure what I was expecting from our meeting with the Emperor, but it wasn't that. Still, at least we know now what he's really after.
Yep.
Aye, a future built on a mountain of bodies. I too want the Ascians dead, but not at any cost.
The last of the reinforcements from Doma arrived not long ago. I pray it will be enough. Given the Emperor's stated goal, this is a battle we can ill afford to lose.
If the Garleans come in force, we may not have much say in the matter, even with our combined strength.
We knew from the first that the odds would be against us. But if there is even the slightest chance of victory, we must do everything in our power to seize it.
We must seize it, full stop.
Here!
The two of you are to join an irregular unit and support the main host. I won't bother asking if you're minded to fight.
After coming this far, how could I not? And for once, there's no one around to countermand me. Not that they would. Not even my brother.
Yeah, this is like the easiest decision of, yeah, we've gotta fight. We've gotta fight here.
But we all know who really make the difference. Ready to frighten some Garleans?
Wouldn't want to be on their side.
Might I ask you to accompany the Dorman contingent? They are strangers here, and your presence would do much to raise their spirits.
Cool. Fighting alongside the Domans here.
We would be honored.
When our people stride out with you in their midst, I dare say the Eorzeans will feel an ilm taller themselves. High spirits have a way of spreading.
What I wouldn't give to join you. But my duties as field commander will not allow it. I'll leave the front lines in your capable hands. Comrades, ready your arms. The hour of battle has come. May the crystal guide us to victory!
Yeah. Let's go beat up some Garleans.
Since the others couldn't be here, we'll have to fight twice as hard. If Alphino wakes to find the Imperials have won, I shall never hear the end of it.
Yeah.
It's strange. I thought I would be terrified when the fighting started. I should be terrified. But with you at our side, I can't help feeling everything is going to be all right.
Yeah, we got this.
So please, don't you dare leave me alone. No matter what happens, we have to survive together.
Gimlet Dark. This feels like a big moment here. My duties as field commander demand I remain here at my post, but I've no doubt the front lines are in capable hands. Gotta say I'm impressed with the amount of voice acting in this patch. Feels like there's barely been anything to read aside from these side interactions with these characters that are optional. Otherwise it feels like 80-90% of this patch has all been voice acted, which is great. Stay focused now. Let's show the Empire what we're made of. There's a chill in the air, and I speak not of the weather. Nay, this is the palpable tension that precedes a bloody battle. The Alliance stands ready to fight. Let us seize victory this day and secure the morrow for all our peoples. Anyone in chat is welcome to join for this dungeon, although I think Aether is currently full right now, so you might not be able to join unless you happen to be on Aether already. The Gimlet Dark. For those who travel twixt Eldenard and Ilsabard, there is but one path, and it leads through Gimlet. Confluence of harsh terrain, aether climatic conditions have shrouded the land in perpetual darkness, and it is here that the decisive battle for Eorzea begins. Joined by their far eastern allies, the Eorzean Alliance battles desperately to fight back the seemingly endless waves of Imperial troops. In a bid to change the tide of battle, the Warrior of Light has been called to the fray. But can they prevail in this land long since lost to the light? Nice. Insta-Q. Epic music time. Well, it's the Stormblood theme. It's the Alamigan theme now. Rauger's Reach. This is like a full-on battlefield now. Look at it all. It just goes on for miles of destruction. One of those big guys. I think that's one of the bosses in the Praetorium. Yeah, I really like the aesthetic on Chop. So we want to stand on this side. Oh, I see. That's cool. I feel like the bosses just keep getting cooler as the expansions go on. Yeah, that was definitely an ability back in Praetorium. another one of these, but the other way this time. Oh, and another one. That was fun, boss. Going inside for veins of ships and stuff now. Yeah, this is dangerous. One of these ships could fall on our heads. That's really cool. The stuff is falling and dictating our path through the battlefield, like acting as the borders. Whoa. Hey, it's Lise. Pippin. Yeah, Red, this is great. Can I heal Lise? Oh, I can. Like extra party members along with us. This is so cool. It's like an actual battlefield. Fighting alongside our friends. Now it's this thing, like the boss that we fought in Alameda. Whoa, who's that? Just came in with jetpacks. Prometheus. What is this thing? This thing looks cool. Burrowing underground. I'm guessing I don't want to stand in front of that. Whoa. Oil shower. It's doing something different now. Oh, there it is. Oh no. Barely scraped that. Seemed like it did much damage though.
You underestimate me.
It's Emmerich. Kane Sen. Let's give you a bit of heals. Another one of these guys. So it's just a regular one, not a golden one. Oh, that's cool. Aimrick got a stack marker, or a spread marker. Whoa. One of these things. I like how we're going through previous Imperial machines that we fought as bosses before. Really like these big things. Unbreakable cement blade. We get in Kani Senna's shield. Cool. This is really so great how our friends are alongside us here. Self-detonate. That's not good.
Time to get serious.
Nice. At least with the LB3. Hey, how come Lise gets to LB3 in a dungeon? That's not fair. We can't do that. Oh. These savages bested our vanguard. Impressive. Wait. But in the end, they're only that, savages. Now let us be brief, as Radiance awaits. Kinda look like Livia. These be clones of Livia. each have helmets that kind of look like Nero's. This is cool. We got a double boss fight. Ready the cerulean tanks. Julia and Anya. Wait, could these be Julia's sisters? Anya, take the field. Oh, now we're fighting this one. Very well, I leave the artillery fire to you. Dig up some more on the side. I'm sure there must be some up there. Yeah. Oh, I don't want to stand in front of that. Oh, I see. This is a cool fight. Charging up something over there. Seems we have no choice, Julie. You should feel honored, savages. Few are they who have witnessed this twice. Uh-oh, spread markers and this death. Fewer who have witnessed this. Farewell, savages. Let's see, this might just be a DPS race. Yeah. Cool. We have served our purpose. Come, we shall withdraw for now. Ooh, so they fled. We didn't kill them. Which means they might become important characters in the future. That was a great dungeon. That might be one of my favorites in Stormblood. Like how this looks like a legit battlefield. Parachutes coming down from ships. fire and rubble everywhere. That was fun.
We did it! I dare say they'll be reeling from this.
You were truly inspiring in battle, my friend. I'm determined not to be outdone, but there seems to be no one left to fight.
A tactical withdrawal, perhaps?
We should give chase. Finish them off while we have the chance.
Yeah, I like Alcé's plan.
Imagine the other surprise when they wake to find the war already won.
Oh no.
The light will expunge all life. Only you can forestall the calamity. Throw wide the gates.
No! 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 No!
Throw wide the gates again. Oh no. Alicé. Now she's unconscious too?
Oh no. Don't tell me. Are you all right? Quickly! We must get her back to the encampment.
There's a warning there about the light, and then throw wide the gates. Is this part of Bastion's plan to defeat the Guardians here and throw light out of balance to create another calamity? Interesting. It seems like the voice is telling us to just open our gates and let the Guardians in. Alicé is being cared for at the infirmary. Would that there were more we could do for her. Seems like this voice really doesn't want us to continue fighting this war, warning that tragedy is going to occur. So the Guardians have been routed, have they? Though this exchange was no more than a test of our strength, like as not, they won't be taking any chances now that the Emperor has joined the fray. They'll want to take their time, whittle down our defenses. Still, with your help, and that of our eastern allies, we've passed the first test. Our line is unbroken. As for Alicé, well, she's in good hands over at the infirmary. Yeah, it seems like the Scions are okay, but they're all unconscious, which means I'm the only Scion left. Or, I guess Kryl is still conscious. My lord, the Chirurgeons have completed their examination of Mistress Alicé, and it is as we feared. She is locked in a slumber without any outward cause. Just like the others. Damn it all. Aye, the Guardians picked a fine time to come knocking. 5 Scions incapacitated, and with the enemy on our doorstep, I cannot spare the men to assist us in the search for a cure. I guess I'm not the only Scion left. Me and Kryl are not the only ones still left. There's still a bunch of other ones at the Rising Stones. But as far as the major Scions go, it's really just me and Kryl left. The best I can do is see to it that Alicé is escorted safely back to the Rising Stones. Ugiri and I would return to our encampment. The main contingent of our forces from the Far East is under sail, and all must be made ready for their arrival. I'll not keep you then. Judging by the Garleans' recent movements, or lack thereof, they won't be launching another offensive in the immediate future. You should return to the Rising Stones. Given the plight of your fellow Scions, I can understand if you feel on edge, but you'll be no good to anyone without rest. Go now. Rest. You've more than earned it. We'll contact you the moment the Garleans show any sign of stirring. So now we go to the Rising Stones. Where does this take me? To the locks. I see. Ah, Jaguar, welcome home. Word has it you and Mistress Alisay gave the Garleans quite a thrashing. Speaking of whom, where is Mistress Alisay? I was certain she would have returned by now. Yeah, about that. By the 12, not her too. Ocher and I will ready the infirmary for her arrival. You will also need to send a message to Tataru post-haste. Oh yeah, Tataru is not out yet. Would that I had something other than grim tidings to share with her. And with you too, for that matter. It grieves me to report that the Archon's condition remains unchanged. As we speak, Kultane, Kryl, and Master Matoya continue to explore every possible avenue. Alas, their efforts have yet to bear fruit. But all is not lost. You are still hale and whole, after all. Though I suspect you must be tired from your journey. You should rest, my friend. Leave the worrying to us. And the time being, of course. At least. Tataru is the real main character of the story. Yeah, Tataru is the only Scion we need. She could solo Varys herself. Easy slow. There's the Xenos impersonator. Wow, and that was it for patch 4.5. Very good. That was a great patch. very interested to see where the story goes next. So, let's see. We've retreated, didn't chase after the Empire, so the Empire's still there doing their thing. We'll keep going. This is where I'm gonna call it for now. I will be doing more side content over the weeks. I want to finish everything that I want to do in Stormblood before moving on. And then after we do all that, then I will continue to part 2 of this patch, and then I can finish the MSQ of Stormblood and watch the Shadowbringers trailer, and then we'll be ready to go straight into Shadowbringers from there. So over the next few weeks or so, I'll be doing... I've got to finish Eureka and the raid at the end, and I'll be doing a Blue Mage stream. I'll be doing the last Alliance raid and the ending of the Four Lords. Hildebrand too, I've got to finish that. Very excited to see you break through to Shadowbringers. Nice, yeah. I'm very excited to get to a new expansion. This lead up into Shadowbringers has been very interesting. I guess the teaser at the end there was we're gonna have to deal with Xenos next time in the MSQ. Be interesting to see how that goes. Yeah, I'll keep my Discord open. Good, glad to hear it, Ren. Yeah, I'll definitely be posting updates in there whenever I am streaming. Alright. Well, that's the end of this stream. Yeah, Puppet Xenos. The Xenos impersonator. Yeah. Seems like we'll be dealing with him next patch. I wonder if we're gonna defeat him, or if he's gonna be a major threat going into Shadowbringers. Be interesting to see. So thanks everyone for watching the stream. I appreciate you all. And I hope to see you next time. Be so pissed. Yeah. Varys. Yeah, he'd be very pissed if we take out Xenos again. Bro would have to watch his son die twice. First time his actual son dying. Second time someone impersonating his son dying. Time for me to leave work. Have a good night, Jaguar and Ren. Yeah, have a good night. Oh, Xenos would be pissed about his body. Yeah. He is gonna be pissed when he finds out. That is gonna be entertaining. Alright, well, I'm going to end the stream there. Have a good night, everyone. See you later.